welcome to the webinar for the introduction of the new EPD platform of IBU, EPD-Online.com. We had a major update with major progress in comparison to the old version. The main update is that we now have the base and HTML for the webinar. If you go on the website, you will see the screen that I show you now. It's the same as it was before. You click on EPD-Online to go into the EPD platform. And I'm logged in already, so your login data is the same as it used to be. If you're new, you just go to register then, and one of the EBU employees will then finish your registration. If you're logged in, you see the dashboard like this. It is here you see a bit more because I'm logged in as an admin. For normal users of the platform, you see an EPD overview of all the EPDs you are invited to or you created, and you have the PCR overview where you can look at the PCRs directly. In public EPDs, you can see the published EPDs. As before, what you can directly see is that the loading times have improved majorly. In the top EPD information, you have links to the IBU PCR forum, to SVR decisions, and subscribe to the newsletter, and you can download the most important IBU documents. Also EPT related information and software tool related information, so on. If you go to account, there you can manage your own account, all your data as it also used to be, and with the Supim button, you can go to Supim, and with the language, you can change the language of the tool. What is new in the EPD overview? You see, you can still sort as you want, like a word that it contains or does not contain, or start with, end with, equals to. I did it here with the manufacturer with test and filter. So every manufacturer with test EPD is now here. Then you see main product category PCR, declaration number, EPD type, standard, language, state, and actions. You can also clear all search filters. And here you can select columns. That means if you say, okay, I don't need to know what is the main category and the category, you can just set off the filters and then filter of it. You see these columns now disappear. And if I now click on the lock, that will be saved. So if I log in again in the tool, it will be saved as I left it. If you want to create a new EPD, you just click here on create new EPD. You say which language the EPD should be, which standard, which category. I just leave that standard category. Then you say which product. I say this is the test in both languages, and the manufacturer is the test manufacturer. We're going here for an IBU EPD. The difference I will show you in the webinar. It is a single manufacturer EPD. We could also choose manufacturer group, which is equally to an association. We have to choose the type of the EPD, specific EPD, average EPD, representative EPD, or model EPD. We can say if it is the individualization of an associated EPD or no individualization, and a limited EP or limited individualizations. So in this case, this is no. We have to choose the geographical representativeness. That is also something which will be shown in the EPD. There you just choose the country where the product is manufactured. If it's not a country but a region, you can also say it is Europe. So, or if it's a global average, you can say global. But for this, we say Germany. Then you have the option EPD based on an approved software tool. You click that if you have an IBU verified software LCA tool. So if you have a tool, which is a software tool, which is verified by IBU and spits out the LCA results for your products, then you would click here. If that's not the case, you don't click here. If you have an update of an existing EPD, you can click here, and then you will put in the old declaration number. So it's easier for us to then assign a verifier possibly, if it's possible, the verifier who verified the old EPD for efficient issues. Also new is the data transfer with the digitalization of all EPDs. It's now much more automatical than it used to be. You cannot send an EPD to verification if you have not give all the inputs needed for verification. Standard or the mandatory is that the EPD will be published in EPD-Online.com as a PDF file and also go as an XML file in EBU data. Optional is to send it in Ökobaudat. If you don't want it, you just say, I don't want this, and the same for InData. By the way, InData we have to update. That would be now the Echo platform. And if you have chosen everything, you just click on Save, and the EPD will be created. And as you see, that is much faster as it used to be, which is one big improvement. This is the new view you have. You have on the left side the EPD document, and on the right side you have settings, additional documents, communications, communications and comments. I think comments is just for me as a administrator. And what you're missing here is users, like you had it in the old tool. If you want to invite users, you click down here to expand. And you see now I am here as a user, and I can invite another user, administrator, and that could be the test user. And if the test user is already registered, you see everything is filled in. If it's not registered, is this a new user of the tool? You have to give the last name and first name, gender, and language. I do the test user just to show you that it works. He's now here as a user in the EPD, and I can change the authorization. Can say he's an administrator, editor, read-only, responsible person. And then I can just hide that field again. Also, in general, in all views, in the middle, you have this bar, which allows you to just change how you can see it. I'll put that back in the middle. So what do we have here for documents? We have documents for communication, where you can add documents. It's a communication document or an attachment, the background report, additional evidence, certificates, verification documents. If there is no background report attached to the EPD, you cannot not send it to verification. That is new. I will show you that later. We have an automatically check. Additional documents, you automatically have PCR part A, and you can add documents, also the background report. So let's be a bit more specific. The additional documents is what you have to upload, where you have to upload the background report. Communication is then what the verifier gives you back. What is now new, you are used to have the left side and just click in these fields and change these fields. That is not possible, as you can see, anymore. What you have to do now is you click on Edit. If you click on Edit, a new section with 3 columns will open. On the left side, as you used to have it, the normal EPD or PCR Part B, with also these blue text fields, which you can just click and edit. In the middle, you have an index where you can now jump to chapters. Like you want to do something for 310, you just jump to this chapter here and you will directly be there. But we start with the EPD settings. EPD settings is more or less that what you put in while creating the new EPD, all the information you put in there. Images and logos is now also here. You just click on this field and then you can select the file. I have to look for something. 1 second. I just take this Teams image. Oh, it's too big. Yeah. Let's go for a BB scheme. So that will be just shown here. Now directly shown here. Headline logo is the same. We just go also with this scheme, which is not very nice, but you see it. And don't worry if you don't see the logo here. If you download the PDF file, you will see it. Directly there in information, we still have a minor issue with downloading the PDF files that it shows the changes, but you can be sure all the changes are saved. So let's go to declaration owners. So the next one, you have the declaration owners for the last page of the EPD. You can just select an owner here from this list, or you type in your owner. Let's see, we have a test company. Yes, we have the test company, and we just click on the plus to edit. So you see test company is now here. If you have a new contact, you request a new contact, as it used to be. This new contact is then comes a request for IBU employees, and we will then agree to this contact, and then you can choose it. Same is with the LCA also. Works exactly the same as you have it with the author, with the declaration owner. I also look here, we have a test one. Also the test company, and we also edit. So you see they're now added directly. That is very important because also that will be automatically checked if you have done an input here. If not, you cannot send it to verification. So then if we go to our index, it's a bit differently sorted to the users. The first top after the settings is the LCA results. So we directly click on them. And here you can directly put in the value and the unit. So it's 1 kilogram test in this case. And we want at least the C stages and D. And now we could download the Excel template like we're used to it, fill it out and upload it again so that everything is filled out automatically. But we can also do it by hand. A very important step is also that we have to save our steps. We have to click here on save. Now the changes are saved. You see it up here, settings have been saved successfully. So this is now in the EPD. If I would change something here and would click in a different part, it would say changes have not been saved. Do you still want to continue? In this case, yes, because it was just to show you that we haven't changed it. If you haven't uploaded an Excel template with the LCA results, you can do it number by number. You can say we want exponential numbers, which is the scientific writing with E+. And then you type in the number you have here. Like, for example, this is 12.05 kilograms GBP total. And then we click on the hook, and then you see it will directly be here also as an exponential number because we said yes. One information, you see I put in a point because we're in an English EPD. If I would put in comma, as for the German writing, it would say value invalid because it needs a point. But that is not according to the EPD language, but according to the language you choose of the EPD platform in. So if we would change to German, I could put in a comma, but we say in English, so we have to do a point. And here is saving again. And you see it's been saved successfully. And you can see the result here. So then we go to the next chapters. Like you can click here in the index to all these chapters. You will see here on the left side the description text. If you put in a space and save it, the description text disappears with these 3 dots. If you done it by mistake and say, oh, damn it, now I don't know what I have to put in here, you can click on this information button, and then you see the text who was in there originally, which I copy here now, just put it back in. And now you see that that the saving symbol is gray, but anyway, it works. If I click on it, it works. That is also a minor issue we are still working on, that it will be shown black. But don't worry, if you click on it, it will work. All these other things are like you're used to it. You can do things in bold. You can do it in italic. You can underline them. You can do bullet points. You can do numbers. You can say that a 2 should be, you can say high numbers or high fin numbers and low fin numbers. And you can insert images. See images here, and if I save it now, it will also be shown here. Also here, as I said, you can change the size of the columns as you want, as you need it. And you can also always download a PDF file. You see here the download of a Word file. At the moment, that is not possible for a user of the EPD-Online tool, only for IBU. So if you need a Word file, please contact IBU. We will provide you with the Word file. We're working on a solution that is possible again for everyone to download Word files. Probably it will be a limited number of Word files you can download because it will cost IBU money. And to still give you that service for free, we will limit it to a number. Now I have to look if we have something special. Going back to the digitalization, if you choose that you want to do to put your data in the Öko-Baudat, you have here additional information to give, description of the manufacturing process and specification of the process materials used. This is also a chapter in the EPD which you can just copy if it's not filled out automatically. But we write just a test, save it, and yeah, you can see it here. There are some more digitalizations settings. You will be asked, should this EPD linked with a German record for digitalization settings? So if you have a German EPD already, you could say linked. If you click linked, it will ask you which EPD it is. But in this case, we have an independent one. So we go here to the independent one to ask you for previous EPDs. We don't have that. We have the test name, we have the test company, background database, which you also have to give in the EPD. If it is in the EPD, I guess it will be automatically copied. Here you see it tells us we should enter a declared unit in the chapter 3.1. We have to do it afterwards. Here we could name scenarios. If we have scenarios, we don't have scenarios in this EPD, so we don't have to set it. Additional document of data sets. If you want to do public attachments, which also will be transferred to the Öko-Baudat. If it is attachment is in PDF file, it will not be digitalized, but in the XML, you will find that PDF also downloadable. You can say if it's copyrighted or not. You can give the type of declarations. Actually, that will be done automatically. For Öko-Baudat, you have to do the classification level. If you choose to put it in Öko-Baudat, you can just go through it. Say it's that's unfortunately in German. We have to look here that we also can transfer it into English. Technology description you could also put in here, but since we did it over this field, over the Öko-Baudat requirement A, it will be automatically shown here. Here we also have a button to automatically translate everything we need to be translated. But in this case, we don't need anything translated, I guess. I mean, I can just click on it to show you product description, which is now what I put in before, is now translated into German automatically via a DeepL connection API we have now in this new tool. If you do this translation, please check the translation. It is DeepL, as I said, it is very good, but it's not perfect. So please check the translation yourself too. Okay, we have done this all, so we can save it. And now we go back to the overview. And then we want to send the EPD to verification. You see, everything I put in here is now also visible here. So I will send the EPD to verification. it says directly, I have a validation error. There's no, the specific parameters for declared unit is missing and the background report is missing. So I go to cancel and edit EPD. Click back on edit EPD. Go to the system boundary. Seems like I haven't saved it. I'll go to the 1 kilogram of test and also save. And also here we have the declared unit, which is 1 kilogram, and save. Now we go back to the overview, try to send it to verification again. And now it takes a bit longer. To validate the EPD. It tells us the raw density is missing and the background report is missing. So we have to go back and edit the document. Chapter 3.1, declared unit. This is where the raw density is, our raw density, gross density. In this case, is also 1. Go back to the overview. If we click to verification, it will tell us the background report is missing. So before I show you again, it takes time to make that. We do a report. We say that it's a background report. We select the file. Uploaded the file. We send it to verification. Document validation is running. Oh, raw density is still missing. That's the digitalization parameters. So it gives you always specific what is missing. You should, not like me, read where it tells you that it's missing. And then you can directly jump to that section. By the way, that was not planned that I forgot all these things. Here it says it's automatically detected but not yet saved. So I just have to go in and save it, and then it says everything is okay. Can go back to the overview and next try to send it to verification. By the way, you see here in the background there's a contact person from IBU, which will be normally assigned, so you can directly see who the person and the IBU employee is you have to contact if you have questions. So it says now it's to verification, everything is good. You have to confirm the terms of use, the general program instructions, the status, and I agree, publish restrictions. And I consent to publishing the EPD. I say yes, EPD is now sent to verification. The to review and design verifier is just buttons I see. As IBU administrator, you won't see them. If I go back on my dashboard now, and it's still saved as test because I logged it here, and go to the, should be probably the last page. Oh, no, sorry, it's the first page. It's this one. There's now to verification. As long as it has to stay to verification, I still can do changes in the EPD by opening a new tab on the language flag, clicking on the language flag, or click on Edit EPD. I still can create a copy of the EPD with a very similar EPD. I could copy this EPD to A1, but IBU is not doing A1 EPDs anymore, so we have to hide this button in future. I could delete the EPD if necessary, and I could add a new language. If I would add a new language, it would copy my EPD with all text I have inserted in the original language, and the description texts would be in the second language, so German or English. And here we will have, maybe I can show that to you. Also a very nice new feature. You see now here you have yellow parts. If I click now on the yellow parts, we have this button, which is also the automatic translation, as I showed you before for the digitalization parameters. The text of the original EPD was sent to a translation service. DeepL, please remember to check the automatic translation for any translation errors before saving. So I click that here now, and then we have this German version. You see directly here is a space missing, so I have to put that in. And then I could save it, and it would be translated into German. So, but I go back to the dashboard. And I'm pretty much done with my presentation.